If you are not watching Death Parade, watch it. It's one of the most well-written, interesting series that I've seen in a really long time. And what I really loved about this week's episode is how it broke the mold from the first two episodes and from the prequel episode, Death Billiards. This one left me with a good feeling. It was an episode that proves that when two people go into the Quindecim and they play a game, that two people can go to reincarnation, and two people can go to the void. And I really liked that was addressed, because what would happen if two good, earnest people actually went there and played the game? And really, the game really isn't, what determines where they go. It's really up to the bartender and their assistant, really, to make that ultimate decision. And in this week's episode, we got to see something a little different. We got to see the reunion between two childhood friends, one of which was in love with the other, and they have to play bowling. And unlike the other games where usually like a piece of the board game or whatever they were playing was like attached to their body part, this was specifically heart bowling. Like whenever they picked up their bowling ball, whenever they had to go up and bowl for their frame, their ball would actually have their opponent's heart inside of it, and they could feel it beating, they could feel the warmth within it, and they even have this one shot where you can literally see like the guy's fingers inside of her heart, and it's real detailed and very odd and kind of creepy, and it sort of adds a little bit of tension to this episode because you can sort of know what they're thinking and feeling depending on what their heartbeat is like. And they play bowling, and little by little as the episode is going on, they start to regain their memories, and they realize that this girl who had amnesia goes by the name of Chisato, and both her and this guy by the name of Shigeru are going to basically start a relationship, and that's because apparently they used to be good childhood friends. But as the episode is going on, a twist is building, and even the black-haired woman really wants to know what's going on. She's even trying to ask Decim, who knows exactly what's going on and won't tell her, and that's just pissing her off. And it's still weird that she doesn't even have a name yet. She's still the black-haired woman. But what I really love about her is that she's basically like all of the personality that Decim does not have. She's able to express that. They're really like a yin and yang of each other. But as the game is going on, eventually this girl does realize that she is not actually who she thought she was. She's actually another girl by the name of Mai, who is another childhood friend of Shigeru, and over time, she got plastic surgery because she wanted to look better and have more confidence. And eventually he does run into her later in life when, ironically, he was at a bowling alley, and he meets her on this bus, and he's about to talk to her and confront her, and that's when their bus is actually hit by this oncoming truck, and it kills them, thus bringing them to the Quindecim. Now, this is the part of the episode where things just straight up get heartwarming, because even though the game is over, they realize that they're dead, they're getting ready to be sent to either heaven or hell, Shigeru still manages to go up to his now remembered old friend and still ask her on a date, which is actually what he promised during the game. And they even do go on a small date before their final moments, which you actually get to see those during the ending credits, which this series knows how to do some memorable ending credits. And they both are sent to reincarnation, their entire backstories are finally revealed, and it just hits you like a wave of warmth. And it lets you realize that this series really isn't going to be so bad after all. It's really interesting. I really love that concept, and that's what really blew me away about it. So, what's the rundown on this week's episode of Death Parade? Just such a high-caliber episode right here that completely, turned the series around for me. I already really liked it before. This episode made me absolutely love it, because it can affect you on so many different levels. This is the type of story that can appeal to a lot of different people. Lost love, old friends that you never get to see anymore, reunions, and they did it so well, and there wasn't any need to have like a freaky violent moment or like a weird breakdown. Like, they managed to keep the heart of this episode intact. And I think that's really, really good, because this series just has this real heavy, dark atmosphere. But, I like this episode because it does go in line a little bit more with the opening. There's a little more happiness to it. And I think that's really good. It's also one of those shows, like, you gotta rewatch it. And I'm so glad that I am immediately rewatching this show with friends. Like, already tonight we're going to watch this one again, and I'm really excited because I want to be able to pick it apart a little bit more and think about it. This is definitely just a really well-written show with some great characters, which are just so mysterious, and some people might be a little upset that this episode sort of went back to form, where it was more like the first episode of the series, and a lot more like Death Billiards, especially now that the black-haired woman is there to help out with the rules, 1, 2, 3. It's just really funny when she actually does that, but I still want to learn a little bit more about the whole world of the Quindecim, which, like I said in my previous review, I think they're probably going to do like a game development. But if the preview is any indication, it looks like we're going to get another game next week, which is going to be an arcade game, and that's awesome! I cannot wait to see what they're going to do with that. I just can't wait to see if it's going to be an actual game with real sound effects, or if they're going to make something up, maybe like for the actual Quindecim bar. I can't wait to see what that's going to be. I'm already intrigued over the concept of them having to play video games they're going to be staking their lives on. But this episode right here was good. It was a make-you-feel-good episode, which I thought was really surprising. I was getting ready to go in this one, especially that one scene when the black-haired woman was talking to Decim, and he basically silenced her. I thought something really bad was going to happen there, and it wasn't bad at all. It was just a fantastic reunion between people who didn't realize that they were dead, and they both get sent to reincarnation, which answers a big question about how the series is going to work. The atmosphere, the animation, the artwork is all fantastic. The animation when they're bowling always looks awesome, and I didn't think they could make bowling look awesome, but anime always manages to make even the most simple things look epic. And frankly, I love this series. I can't get enough of it. I loved this one a lot, so I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5. I had no complaints with this episode. When I have nothing to complain about, it's a perfect episode to me, and I think you should definitely check it out if you've been following the series, and if you have not watched Death Parade yet, watch it. It's amazing. It still blows me away. You guys know, I'm an action guy. I love punches to the faces and explosions, and this series has none of that. It's just got amazing writing, good production value, and it just feels like an anime series that the creators are working from the heart. It's that damn good. So check it out, guys. Good episode. Thank you guys for watching my review. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And before you guys leave, please tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Death Parade. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you think of the bowling game? And what do you want to see from the rest of Death Parade? Remember, guys, if you have not subscribed to our channel, you can do that by clicking on the channel icon right up here. You can also follow us on Facebook and on Twitter.